Okay, today we're going to talk a little bit about the timeline. Now, if you look at my timeline, I have it all scrunched down. I want to show you how to zoom out on that. Sometimes you'll want to zoom out. You take your two fingers, you put them on the timeline. It's pretty easy. You just push on there. I like to push up in that black area by the numbers and just spread your fingers out. You don't want to go too far though. You might have to go pretty far though in order to really zoom in on a clip, especially when you're doing the music. But the thing is, when you're it takes forever to scroll through. But watch this when I hit play. Look at the timeline, how fast it's going. Okay, so you don't want to do that. You can zoom all the way back in, and you might want to do that if you're just watching the video looking for mistakes and you're kind of taking note of your mistakes and you're all the way at the end. Then you can go back to, some editors have a button, this one doesn't apparently, that you can just tap on and it'll send you all the way to the back or the beginning, but I haven't found it on this one. So what I like to do, let's say this clip is, I forget how long it is, but I just like to spread out my timeline so that the clip kind of just fits in there, almost fits in there. And then when I push play, it's moving at kind of a normal speed. And that makes things a little more manageable. The other thing I want to show you is if you don't want this to be your first clip in the video, you can just tap on it and hold it, and you can move it. You can move it anywhere. I can make it the last one, or anywhere in between. Anywhere in between I put it, that's where it's going to end up. But in order to move it back, I'll have to go back to it and tap on it. I made this video, I was making this video kind of in the order that, that we did things. We started at the hotel. So now I want to get into the adding some text. First thing, let's say you want to add kind of an intro. An intro, you go to text, T down there, and hit template. And then just to show you, because this one shows up really good, news. Go on the news one. And then check mark. And you can grab this. If you move it a little bit, you move your timeline a little bit, you'll see it'll show up. It's an animated. And if you look up here, there's no diamond. So you can't keyframe it. So let's watch it through. You can't keyframe it or anything, but you could make it longer. After the animation, then the only thing you'd be doing is you'd just be looking at something that's not doing anything. So you can't animate these templates at all, but you can change what they say. So like the word today, just tap on that, today shows up. I could say CapCut. CapCut. Check. Tap on live TV. Add intro. Tap on news. 2022. And let's just call that our intro. And if that's too big, you can shrink it. You can shrink it. You can even turn it. You just can't keyframe it. So you have 100 of those to choose from. If you want to make your own text, let's just go here. You go down to here where it says add text. And let's just call that same thing. CapCut video. Now, when I move over that CapCut video clip, if you look up here, there's that diamond. When I go over that template clip, there is no diamond. So what I could do is I could hit that diamond, add a keyframe, go to the end of the clip, make this thing look bigger or whatever, and even move it, straighten it out. You don't have to do it all in one swoop either. You can let it go. And then when you play it through, you'll get some animation. And of course, when you use your own text, you have all these different styles. So let me tap on text. I can change. I have all these different, kind of fonts. Or I have all these different fonts if I click on font. That's a good one. And I also have, of course, when I do that, the keyframes are still in there. So let me remove, don't do the keyframes till last. Let's remove the keyframes. You just run your playhead over them. Because the keyframe, once you keyframe it once, it's going to change anything that you do in between those keyframes. So what you do is you got that highlighted and you hit style. And let's say the canvas. I can go over here to this circle with a, like a prohibited sign and get rid of that. Background, that's canvas. I can change the color of the stroke. The color of the shadow. Now there's a slider down here, but generally it doesn't do anything. I can change how I want the thing spaced. So if I had more than one, let's say I had, 2 lines in here, and I hit return, and one line was 2022. It's over there, right? So if I hit style and I hit spacing, I can have that centered. I can have it to the left or the right. I can turn it. There's a lot of different things you can do. I just generally like to have it centered. And then you could say bold and italic and underline. Typical font, stuff. Effects, again, you can go into effects. You're going to change all kinds of stuff. And you have all these effects you could put in it. And some of them are a little bit animated. Some of them are a little bit flashing and stuff. Let's go to animation. You can automatically, here's one I've been using down here. Kind of throws and you can make that last longer if you want. Or you could put it in a bubble. Animation, you probably want to choose 0 if you put it in a bubble. But let's not put it in a bubble. I'm just showing you different things you can do. So if you want to play that through, this is what just shorten this. And you can move this by tap and hold it and just move it over. There's your intro. And then there's your CapCut Video 2022. Now, as you're editing other things, those things are going to look like they disappeared. And let's say you go back towards your end of the video and you're watching your video before you render it, and you're like, oh man, I spelt video wrong. Just say I spelt video wrong. Then you'd have to just go up here, down here to your text, and then it'll show up again. You can highlight it, and you can double tap it, and you could change it however you want it. You can change anything. But you're going to lose some of these effects and go, where are they? That was one of the things I definitely wanted to point out. Was, oh man, how do I get there? Same thing if you want to move it. Let's say I wanted to put CapCut Video in every clip. Highlight your text. Text to speed. Where is it? Lasting text. And this would be something maybe you'd want to have in the little bottom, you know, throughout your whole video. Maybe your own personal little signature or watermark or something throughout the whole video. And remember, you can always just undo. I could just keep undoing until all those little edits I just did disappear. So those are some tips for adding texts that should be helpful. There's more. And I just wanted to cover stickers. Same thing. Stickers you can also animate. If you hit the star on the left, that's going to show you my favorites. And let's just pick this red arrow like that. Now if I grab this bottom left one, only that square is the one that's going to do this. You can turn it and move it and make it bigger and smaller and all this and that. Now if you want to move that, you can tap anywhere on the screen while that's highlighted and move it. I'm tapping over here by this other building over to the top left, and I'm moving that the way I want it. Now I want to make this a little bit longer because I'm going to show you what you could do. Simple little keyframe it. You got that red diamond shows up. You move to the end of the timeline. And you just move your arrow down like that. Now, you've just created an animation. But let's say halfway through that, you could put another keyframe in, and you could move it up here. Now watch it. You just play with keyframes. It's going to end up right where I had it before. So you can do that same thing with the text. You can't do it with the text template. So, and again, with the stickers, when you go to the stickers, remember, you got to keep hitting back. You go to stickers, you have just, there's so many. There's so many. So I've added them to my favorites. And the way you want to add them to your favorites is, let's say this one here is you want this to be one of your favorites, this birthday cake here, or this snow cone, or this ice cream cone blowing out confetti. Just tap on it and hold it. And then it says added to favorites. And then when you scroll over to your favorites, there it is. If you want to remove it from favorites, you just tap on it and hold it. And it removes it from favorites. So it makes it, since there's a million of them, you find a few that you really like. And you've noticed through these tutorials, I've been using those arrows a lot. So I had put them in the favorites. So that's all we're going to do for texting and stickers and intros and stuff today. Because I have to pay attention to what's going on with this election and make myself something to eat and clean up the house a little bit. Do some things. So that's going to be the end of this one.